that has helped to relocate and settle almost 200,000 Afghans in the United States. Sean, good to get your thoughts on this today. What should we understand then about these reactions, these very strong reactions that we're seeing from the Trump administration to the shootings?
Well, thank you so much for having me on tonight. I've got to tell you, there's no other way to put this, but they're lying to us. Kristi Noem is a liar. Donald Trump is a liar. Kash Patel is a liar. They keep saying that they're not doing vetting, that the Biden administration didn't do vetting. We know they did exhaustive vetting before they got here, when they got here, while they were here, before each and every step in their process. And they keep lying to us, and it's insane. I have a letter here from Secretary Noem where she lied to me again about a case that we were all tracking. I don't understand why we can't trust our government officials to just tell us the truth. They seem to be using this horrific attack as a political cudgel to carry out the heinous immigration plans that they had anyway.
Yeah, it is. We've seen it become an incredibly politicized debate in the United States. But where does this leave, though, all those Afghans that are either settling in the United States or in some sort of limbo in between coming from Afghanistan to the United States?
It's so heartbreaking. The messages that I'm getting from Afghans who are trying to get on planes and being pulled off of planes have been waiting for years and years and years overseas to be reunified with their families. And people here at home who are worried that they're worried to leave their houses to go to the park because they're worried that ICE is going to show up and snatch them up to make a point. When this is not, the Afghans didn't perpetuate this or didn't perpetrate this atrocity. One man did, and it sounds like he was struggling mightily with PTSD, and his friends tried to get him help, and he didn't take it. And I just think this is a tragedy, not a scandal that they're trying to make this, and it's horrifying. We need everybody to step up and help our Afghan neighbors there in the UK and here in the United States. If you want to invest in AfghanEvac, you can go to afghanevac.org/donate, and we're going to stay in this fight.
And Sean, how many people is this affecting then? Just give us a sense of the scale of people involved.
Sure. Well, there were 265,000 people waiting to come to the United States in some form of limbo. Those are in both the consular track, so special immigrant visas, and in the refugee track. The special immigrant visa track alone had 180,000, 35,000 of which were principal applicants, but there's only 7,500 principal applicant visas remaining. And now we're worried that Congress isn't going to exert its authority to keep that program going and fill up the coffers for more visas so every single one of our wartime allies can get here. And then here in the United States, there are tens of thousands of people who are in limbo in some form of getting through their immigration process to permanent status and their American dream.
So, Sean, what is it your organization is doing now then? It seems like your hands are tied if the Trump administration is just sort of cutting all the possibilities or all avenues for people to be relocated to the United States.
Well, the good news is the Trump administration gets to decide one piece of it, and if Congress acts, the SIV program should continue its law. We think that Congress is going to pass some upcoming legislation that I don't want to give away too soon, but it sounds like it's got a pretty high prospect of passing and giving that sense of Congress that this needs to continue. And Congress could simply tell the administration through law that this work has to continue. The courts have also said that SIVs need to keep moving. There is a lot of litigation out there that's happening. What we're doing is we're communicating with Afghans, we're communicating with the American public and the global public, and we're making sure that we don't leave our wartime allies behind to face certain death at the hands of the Taliban.
Does it worry you how this is sort of playing out in the court of public opinion, the result of this shooting and the impact that it's having on your efforts?
So what we're seeing is the Trump administration continually lying to people and telling them that this is indicative of all Afghans. But broadly, public opinion seems to be that this is an isolated incident, right? You wouldn't expect to see all veterans thrown out of the country when two veterans in September, 13 hours apart, committed mass shootings. We shouldn't do that to our other wartime veterans, the wartime allies that served with us. So I think public opinion is going to cool off and continue supporting our wartime allies. And the Trump administration is going to fail at this too.
Okay, and in the short term then, what is it you're working towards? You were talking about that piece of legislation in Congress, but you can't tell us too much more about it?
It's called the Enduring Welcome Act. We hope that it's about to pass, and that would require the State Department to renew all of the infrastructure that was in place for relocations and would give a sense of Congress that might need to be amended now. But At the very least, it would show the administration that Congress says this has to keep happening.
Sean, thanks very much for talking me through those specific details about what you're trying to achieve. Sean Van Diver, there, founder and president of AfghanEvac.